right after we got the release of episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again, and spoiler warning for the episode, but I feel like they kind of spoiled it over Twitter. They spoiled it on Disney Plus. You know, you probably know what happened, but we got the debut of Jon Bernthal, and right after the episode aired at 10 o'clock on March 18th, we got an article from Entertainment Weekly from Jon Bernthal and his return as the Punisher. So we're going to go through it, talk about it, give my thoughts. Jon Bernthal on his toe dip Daredevil return and no holds barred Punisher in TV special exclusive. Bernthal is eager to do more with the Punisher and his reintroduction to getting him closer to the Frank Castle he really wants to play. Warning, this article contains spoilers for Daredevil Born Again episode 4. Matt Murdock's reunion with Frank Castle on the 4th episode of Daredevil Born Again isn't exactly warm. In his pursuit to find the one who killed Hector with a bullet emblazed with the Punisher's skull insignia, Charlie Cox's blind attorney tracks down the Punisher himself, who nearly hacks off his head with an axe. And hello to you too. For as hostile as the scene began, marking Jon Bernthal's first time in the role since Netflix's The Punisher went off streaming in 2019, Bernthal considers this just a toe dip of a reintroduction to the character. That's great news. It was like, let's see if this works, the actor tells Entertainment Weekly in interview. Let's see if there's real openness and a hunger to let Frank be what Frank is, which is dark enough to have the courage and the boldness to turn your back on the audience and make it difficult to make it enormously psychologically complex and to steer away from any cuteness or humor and to really go full bore. It already appears to be working. In addition to Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Marvel gave Bernthal the go-ahead to write and star in a standalone Punisher TV special in the vein of Werewolf by Night. So even through the big episode format only lasts the scene, at least for now, Bernthal admits, I feel like it opened the door to getting closer to Frank Castle that I really, really want to portray. And this is just something really cool when actors really care and really like and really get into the character they play. I absolutely love to see stuff like that. Bernthal's own reunion with his character wasn't quite as volatile as Mr. Murdock's, but when it was time it felt like it was on shaky ground. It's no secret that Disney Plus's Daredevil Born Again underwent significant overhaul after filming 6 episodes. Bernthal was approached with that first incarnation of the show, which felt more like procedural and less connected to the mythology of the original Daredevil series on Netflix. Ultimately, I didn't see it. I didn't see the version of Frank, and what they wanted from Frank didn't really make sense to me, and I thought would not appeal to fans and wouldn't be congruent, the actor explains. It was not something I was really interested in doing, so we had to walk away. After hiring new writers and bringing on the Bernthals, the Punisher, scribe, and executive producer Dario as the showrunner, Marvel came back around, and this time they were more collaborative with Bernthal in developing the character. They really brought me into the conversation, he says. We really got specific about where Frank is psychologically, where Frank's at physically. Bernthal credits Scartapane, a second unit director, Phil Cervera, who, he said, helped define Frank's physicality on Netflix's Daredevil. His stunt double, and Nick as Marine Raider, who Bernthal feels was instrumental. Sometimes you have to be very, very clear with your intentions in the business, he said. You can get confused with how much you love something, but how much you love playing something, how much you want to do something. You got to make sure you're serving it. You got to make sure you're doing justice to the people that believe in it and doing justice to the iterations that have come before you. And there's a whole lot more. He also talks about, he went through the process, he says. I went in, I pitched, I gave an outline before I even put pen to page, and I felt I did not want to give them just hand it to me. They had read some of my writing, asked to come to do the pitch, so I did, and they helped me be accountable to every step along the way. What does this mean? They care about the show. The overhaul of the show, the direction they took it was correct. What they did, fixing it up, consulting with the actors who really enjoyed playing the role. The fact that Jon Bernthal had the courage to see the script, read the script, and understand who the character is and how it wasn't correct, and actually walking away from that to where there was even a chance that they could recast him at maybe he didn't think of that, maybe that wasn't on the table, but the fact that he knew the character so well that he didn't like the direction and he backed away from it, not taking that check, not taking the limelight and everything because he knew the character was not what it should be. Massive props to him. We're in good hands with that. And the fact that the overhaul made him want to play the character again, made him come back, really gives me high hopes for the rest of the show. I think the show's been great so far, but the overhaul seems to be the correct decision so far. Usually when you see an overhaul, it's like kind of bad news, but nah, man. They did the right thing so far. Let me know what you thought of Jon Bernthal's return as Frank Castle, as the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again, episode 4. What you hope to see from him. I know we're going to see some kicking ass, maybe for at least one episode. I might say 2 episodes, but also, do you think it's going to continue into his special? Let me know all that down below.